This is good, guys. Oh, man. We have some great news to report and discuss involving the trial of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. I am in the car heading to the airport to pick up my daughter. I'm in a good mood because I'm getting to see my daughter, and I am in an extra good mood because of this incredible news that just dropped about President Trump in court. And this is beautiful. Now, the court case against President Trump in New York has been nothing but problematic for these criminals like Bragg and this judge. And now we're getting discovery. Now, I am not a lawyer, but that's okay. There are lots of people who are very smart legal minds who are doing all of this analysis for all of us lay people. Okay. So, this case that they're charging Trump against, of course, the statute of limitations have expired, and it's federal charges that they're trying to bring in a local New York State case. But the charge that they have against him, these are misdemeanor charges, right? Well, to bump it up to a felony, they had to attach it to an underlying charge. And we just found out what it is. And this is beautiful. This is there's not even court today. They take Wednesday off, and it's falling apart for them today. The underlying charge that Bragg used to bump this so-called hush money case up to a felony is a charge that only applies to New York State elections, not federal elections. And of course, these misdemeanors involve a federal election. That's right. So the charges that they're using to bump it up to a felony don't even apply to federal elections, only state local elections in New York. So the Trump lawyers who are, this is amazing. The Trump lawyers very likely will make a move to dismiss this case now. Now, this judge is as corrupt as the day is long. I mean, there's no getting around it. The daughter with the $10 million that she was paid, by the Biden-Harris, Adam Schiff campaign. She raised almost $100 million from Democrats promising to put Trump in prison when her dad's the judge in this criminal case. So this judge is corrupt, and the family's already taken up to their eyeballs in it. But this new little revelation that came out it's beautiful. I don't know why. I really don't know why they push for this case. This is the third day, and there's not even court today, and every day has been a disaster. The opening arguments was a disaster. Yesterday, the National Enquirer guy, he had the prosecution witness clear Trump and back Trump, and now this. That's right. Well, it's because of where I am. When I get out of this area, I'll have a better cell connection. Oh, it does not get better than this. Why do you think? Let me know in the chat if you're watching live. And if you're not watching live, let me know in the comments. Why do you think they came to Trump, brought this case against Trump in criminal court? Welcome, our new subscriber. When it's so weak. Why are they doing this? They're really making fools out of themselves. These Trump derangement syndrome sufferers, they can't see straight because they're so consumed with rage. I'm heading to the airport to pick my daughter up. She's flying in a few days early to spend time with the family before our cruise. We leave on Saturday. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And even though I'm going to be heading to Aruba and some other beautiful islands for a week on the cruise ship, I will be live streaming and connecting with you on YouTube, following all of the developments in the Trump trial, even when I'm on my beautiful cruise vacation, with many of you from YouTube that are joining me on our listener cruise. But for the life of me, you would think before they went to a criminal trial, they would have something that they could hang on to. And it's just been nonstop falling apart for them. It's really amazing. You know, the thing about these never-Trumpers in the Uniparty and President Trump, I often tell you guys, President Trump is the first president that has been truly picked by the people and not pushed upon us by the political establishment of the day. I'm at a red light, and this will be the last light for a while, so I'll take a look at the chat. They want the Outlaw Josie Wales. Welcome. Great movie with the great Clint Eastwood. They would keep him out of the campaign trail. They're desperate. Yeah. That's exactly right. I do have a podcast that'll be dropping this evening, and I'm going to talk about what happened with the contempt and all of that. So make sure you don't miss that. I do take calls, but not when I'm in the car. I take calls when I'm in my studios, Outlaw Josie Wales, but I'm in the car, so I can't take calls while I'm driving. But if you catch me in one of my broadcast studios, I do take live calls and screenless. But, you know, what I mean is he's the first president to be chosen by people. It's pretty simple. You know, the way that the nominating process works with the conventions, we are pushed upon us by the parties who's going to get the nomination at the conventions. And Donald Trump squeaked by. He's the first president ever to not be picked and pushed upon us by the convention process, and they just can't have it. They just can't have it. They're flipping out, you know. And them going to court with one of their star witnesses, Pecker, yesterday from the Inquirer, who not only cleared Trump, but said just incredibly nice and beautiful things about President Trump. That's a disaster. I wish it was on television. If people saw this on TV, the pundits and the fake cable news media wouldn't be able to just lie like they're doing to act as if they got something, but they've got less than nothing. And, you know, so far as the campaign trail, hey, President Trump won Pennsylvania yesterday during this trial. And he was campaigning via satellite, doing interviews with local media from Trump Tower yesterday, and it seemed to have turned out pretty well. That's okay. Trolls are welcome. Trolls are welcome. Trolls help grow the channel too. They're here watching. And they, you know, increase the view count and everything. So trolls don't realize it, but they help a channel not hurt it. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian, and this channel is where MAGA comes to talk. No mistaking that. So this trial is going to be over much faster than people think, and the chances of them getting a conviction, even with Trump haters in the jury, it's slim to none right now. Chance of getting a conviction. There's no getting around it. Slim to none. My daughter's still in the air. She hasn't landed yet, so I don't know how you guys do airport pickups, but what I do is meet her at baggage claim. I hate it when people don't meet you at baggage claim. They drive around the airport in circles and pick you up at the curb. I like going to the airport and going to the baggage claim and picking people up. It makes it more exciting. And it's polite, gentlemanly. So my daughter's coming to town for the cruise, and she's bringing a friend and her 2 cats. So I'm picking up my daughter, her friend, and 2 cats. Hopefully, her 2 cats get along with our cat. If not, it's going to be a long week and a half, I'll tell you. But, you know, it's so amazing President Trump has red-pilled America. The American people, even Republicans, before Trump, didn't realize how corrupt our government really was. We just didn't. And they've really President Trump really red-pilled even Republicans to how bad the Republican Party itself was. We've always had these rhinos, but we always thought it was one or two. There'd be a bill up in the Senate, and there'd be one Republican who'd screw us over and vote with the Democrats. A few people in the House. And we always thought it was a handful. And what Trump woke us up to is the fact that almost the entire party are rhinos, right? Republicans in name only, fake Republicans. They tell us what we want to hear, and then when they get into Congress, they do what Mike Johnson did on Saturday. Pass Ukraine funding. There's passage of the Ukraine funding by the Republicans in the House of Representatives. It not only is it outrageous and disgusting, and Republican voters don't support that crap. Mike Johnson really told this to go F off. He really did. And, what Mike Johnson did on top of it is, I can't remember the exact dollar amount off the top of my head. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. But how much of that bill, there's millions upon millions of dollars of that bill for Ukraine that Mike Johnson allowed to pass that is carved out specifically for Ukraine border security. Ukraine border security. How the hell can this Congress, with Republicans running the House of Representatives, pass a bill and give billions of dollars to secure the Ukrainian border when our southern border is completely wide open? That's just rubbing salt in the wound of the pissed off Republican voters like you and me. That's really telling us to go F ourselves. There's just no getting around it. And, Trump's been saying good things about him. And Trump's been standing up for Mike Johnson. And I'm always going to do whatever Trump tells us to do, because Trump is on a mission right now, not just to make America great again, but to save America and Western civilization from these globalists. And he is going to have to ally himself with people that we don't like, that may screw us over like Mike Johnson. He's running a play, Trump, with Mike Johnson. What it is exactly, I don't know. None of us know, because Trump hasn't told us. But he's saying good things about Mike Johnson, so we'll always got to support Trump in everything he does, because he knows much more about what's going on than we do. So I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene about Mike Johnson. Part of it could be the reason Trump's been saying good things about Johnson is because, sorry guys, I've been up since 1:30 in the morning. Ugh. I've been up 14 hours, so it's been a long day. And I just finished my podcast, which will be online later today. I think Trump agrees with Marjorie Taylor Greene about Mike Johnson. But if they move to vacate, there's a possibility that the Democrats take over the House and they get the Speaker, because we're so divided. We only have like a 3-seat majority. Also, there's a possibility that to save his job, Mike Johnson, makes a whole bunch of terrible deals with the Democrats to keep his job. So Trump's working an angle here, and we just got to trust Trump. You've always got to trust what Donald Trump's doing. He always knows more about what's going on than we do. So, I know you guys, like me, agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene about Mike Johnson, but Trump knows what he's doing. The whole future of this country is in Trump's hands right now. It really is. Because without him, this country's finished. Oh. I just passed somebody. I passed this semi, and you know, I had to give it a little gas to pass him. And as soon as I got by the semi, I saw a highway patrolman over here. So I'm like, uh-oh. But I guess I wasn't going fast enough on the pass for him to come after me. I don't know how fast I was going, but I was definitely passing the guy. I was live streaming once, and some of you may have seen that stream. I was on my way to the radio station in the morning, and I got pulled over while I was live streaming. And I had the camera in the middle of the windshield. Now it's on my left, and you can see the blue lights come up behind me. He didn't give me a ticket. He let me go. It's absolutely amazing. It was a construction zone. I didn't slow down in the. There weren't any workers there. Like 5 in the morning, but. Whole thing was streamed. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or Periscope when Periscope was still around, but you know, you may have seen it. So regardless, you know, don't let anyone tell you that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump are not on the same page, because they are. Marjorie Taylor Greene is like this with Trump, and she's his personal representative in the House. Hopefully the traffic keeps moving this way. I left a little later than I would have liked to. So, but by the time I get to baggage claim, she may not even quite be there yet. It takes a while to get off the plane and get the baggage claim, especially when she has 2 cats with her. It must be terrifying for animals to fly. They have no idea what's going on. Their ears are popping. But, you know, listen, Trump is going to partner up with many more people that we don't like. That's just what he's got to. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people we don't like that are in very important positions, and Trump needs them to get things done. If Trump stood up and supported vacating Mike Johnson, okay, and then all of a sudden Hakeem Jeffries becomes the Speaker of the House, of course they're going to blame Trump in the media and say that Trump gave the House over to the Democrats. First time it ever happened in history, and that's not a good thing to have hanging over you in an important election year like this. So I think what Trump's doing by saying nice things about Johnson and publicly supporting Johnson, when behind the scenes I think he agrees with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think that's the smart move. Do you agree or disagree with that? You can let me know in the live chat or in the comments if you're not watching live, and make sure you subscribe if you're new. It's a beautiful day in Florida. It's got to be way into the 80s. It's a hot one. My daughter's plane will be landing any minute, and I may be seeing it. Is that it? That's not it. I know what airline she's on, so I'm getting close to the airport. And the flight path of the plane's landing is right here, and she is supposed to be landing any minute. I might see her plane come in. The one that just came by was Southwest. She's not on Southwest. You know, the whole rise of Trump this year has just been spectacular. You know, he came down the escalator like 9 years ago. In 2015. I believe it's been that long. So 8-9 years he's had the uniparty and the media the deep state, all these people just after him nonstop with lies, slanders, and smears. It continues still to today. And look how popular he is. It's history that we're living through. Amazing history we're living through. All right, let me see. I'm hoping I can see her plane come in. Another one hasn't come by yet. The road always under construction. All right, coming up to the exit. We had a call today on the morning show, and a guy called in, a never Trumper, and Steve had asked the guy, "Why? What about making America great again? Do you disagree with?" The guy had no answer. But the reason they oppose Trump, it's pretty specific if you think about it. It's because what happened with that Ukraine funding on Saturday, right? That Ukraine bill. The reason the Democrats were waving those Ukraine flags and everything, which is disgusting, is because they all got paid off. Either they personally get money out of it, like Biden, or the military-industrial complex donors that are backing their campaigns get the money, which is like them getting paid. It's like they won the lottery. And before Trump, all Congress was a big grift on the U.S. Treasury to pass legislation and steal money for yourself and for your donors. And Trump, yep, that's my daughter's plane right there. No, it's not. Different airline. Look like it, same color, but no. That one's United. She's not on United. I thought it was hers. The color is the same color as her airline's plane, but it's United. I mean, that's all they've been doing our whole lives, is passing legislation and stealing it. That's what globalism's all about. They've been stealing money from the U.S. Treasury, these Washington insider, permanent Washington people, forever. They took it to a whole nother scale after World War II with the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe. And they haven't stopped. It's been nonstop until Trump was in the White House. Then they couldn't do it. I remember in 2008 when the bank bailout came with George W. Bush. This was insane. George W. Bush came out and said, if we don't pass this legislation, we're going to fall into a Great Depression. The entire economy is going to collapse. We've got to pass this bill. And I remember I was listening to Glenn Beck, and this is before Glenn Beck betrayed us by becoming a never Trumper in the 2015 campaign, but Glenn Beck had a list of all the earmarks where the congressmen who were passing the bank bailout bill were stealing money for their donors. It was unbelievable. I remember there was one, I'll never forget this one, it was $250,000 in the bank bailout bill to some donor of a congressman who owned a factory that made toy bows and arrows. I'm like, are you kidding me? But that's what they did. And that's what it always is, except it's usually much bigger than that. But you add it up with all 435 of them in the House and another 100 in the Senate, that's all they do is steal money. And Trump stopped it. Now, I got to tell you, did you guys see the video and the photos of Joe Biden walking, holding hands with AOC? It's very, very weird. And AOC was wearing very strange clothes. She looked like she was kind of dressed up in a feminine Indiana Jones costume. It was very bizarre. And they were walking. They were holding hands. She was on his left side. So strange. Could you imagine if Trump was walking through the woods holding hands with a female congresswoman? They'd have a fit. And Biden's such a creep. As long as there's a pulse, he's all excited and turned on. Yeah, welcome to my channel if you're new. Make sure that you subscribe. And everybody who's already subbed, please like the video. But you know, this judge in New York is so corrupt. No matter what comes up, he's going to keep the case going. There's nothing that's going to get this guy to dismiss it. But that's okay. He's going to look so foolish on the appeals. And I'll tell you, when Trump comes back in his second term, they're going to be investigating all these crooks. The judge, Bragg. They're going to be investigating them and finding out how much they got to do all this, what deals they made, what payoffs were made. And there will be in these, not just in this New York case, all the New York cases, Fulton County. After the convention, when Trump is the official nominee, and we're in the real heat of the campaign, and it gets closer and closer to him being reelected, that's when they're going to really start running like rats on a sinking ship. I missed my exit. Just another way to get there than I normally would take. Takes a little longer. Oh, Jordan would be a great speaker. The judge is angry. Absolutely. Absolutely. The judge is angry, isn't he? He is just angry. Nasty. He's a big Trump hater. Big Trump hater. And he can't hide it. But at some point, he's got to realize that he screwed up. This case should have been dismissed. There should be no trial. Statute of limitations are up. It's federal charges in a state court. And now we find out the underlying charge to make the misdemeanor a felony only applies to New York State local elections. And Trump was running in a federal election. Everything that Bragg has brought up is just another reason to dismiss the case, that it should have been dismissed. I mean, if I were them, I'd be nervous. I mean, at some point, you know, when the Trump Justice Department starts looking into this, there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of questions they're going to have to answer, like how'd they buy that house? How'd they buy that boat? 150,000 voted for Nikki Haley. That's right. Well, you know, I'm going to talk about that on my podcast that you'll hear later, but 150,000 votes is not that many in a state as big as Pennsylvania. And that's the local Republican establishment. They've still got a fantasy of a broker convention, And do I like black people? I'm picking up a black person from the airport right now, my daughter. So yes, I love black people. My daughter's black. She's landing right now. All that racial stereotyping. You know, I was listening to the news before I started the stream, and they're talking about there's some more Hamas college student supporters, I guess, is it University of Texas? Didn't quite catch what school it was. You know, these idiot college kids that are protesting in favor of Hamas. I mean, my goodness. That invasion from Gaza into Israel in the beginning of October was the most barbaric thing I think I've ever seen. When they hit that music festival, the murders, the rapes, the kidnappings, and they've taken the victims back and have them in rape rooms. Many of those girls that have, the hostages that have been released, have come back to Israel pregnant, impregnated by the Hamas terrorist in Gaza. And you see these college girls who are all about Me Too and the patriarchy supporting Hamas that's raping all these Israeli women. Do they not know what happened? Do they not believe it happened? Do they think the Israeli women deserve it? I don't know. But for the life of me, I don't see how these girls can go out there and defend these Hamas rapists. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, there's an American hostage that just released a video today of an American hostage. Biden doesn't care about him. Getting close to the airport. Right over here's the port right in front of me where our ship will be leaving on the cruise on Saturday. I haven't started packing yet. I was going to pack over the past weekend, but I'll probably pack Friday like I always do, the day before. I always pack so much. I overpack when I go. You know, it's an 8-day cruise. We leave on Saturday and return the following Sunday, and I always overpack. You know, everybody in my family makes fun of me for my overpacking, but I would rather overpack than underpack. I hate it when I go out of town and I forget something and I have to go to the store and buy a shirt or something. It never fits right, or it's a shirt I'd never want to be seen in public with. I'm taking a different way to the airport, and this is a way I've never taken before, so not exactly sure which road to go on. Let's see here, half a mile, okay. I'm running late, and I missed my turn, but I think I will still get the baggage claim before my daughter gets there with her cats. Now don't forget, guys, if you'd like to support my channel and my content, go to mypillow.com and use my promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. The spring $25 sale extravaganza that Mike Lindell has going on there continues. And you can get some of the most popular MyPillow products for 80% off and free shipping on orders over $75. That's promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. And when you do that, you're supporting my channel and all my content. Promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout at mypillow.com. I mean, there's Mike Lindell. He's another guy raided by the FBI for his support of Trump. Okay. I don't want to miss this turn. Arrivals and self-parking. This is the part of the airport where a lot of people don't like to park. So they stop in the middle of the road and things, and then they wait, and then they'll get a text or a call from whoever they're picking up, and then they'll drive up. It costs $5 to park. I park, I go to baggage claim, and not just for my daughter, anybody I pick up at the airport. And I wait for them at baggage claim, and I help them with their luggage, and we walk to the car. That's the gentlemanly thing to do. It's rude just to pull up to the curb and say jump in like they're hitching a ride. All right. Copa Airlines, I've never heard of that. I don't think I want to fly on an airline I've never heard of. Anybody heard of Copa Airlines? All right. And then we're going to go home and have dinner together. $3 an hour. So it'll probably cost me $3. It's amazing for me. It's $3 an hour. So to save $3, people won't park and meet the person they're picking up? Okay. Terminal. There we go. Let's see. All right, I got to make sure I don't go to the wrong place. Being early is late for me. I'm usually 30 minutes early at the airport. So getting there on time is late for me. I hate when I pick up somebody that they're there waiting for me. So I'm hoping I'll get there. $36 a day. I tell you, airports really will. $36 a day. Oh, great. It's not working. Here's my ticket. Now for the cruise is, it's expensive to park at the port. My mother lives like 5 minutes, maybe 10, depending on who's driving, from the port where the cruise ship is leaving. So I'm probably going to drive to my mother's house where it's free to park, park at my mother's house. And thank you for that super chat. I'll read that super chat when I park here. Thank you very much. I'll park at my mother's house, which is free, and have my mother take me and my daughter to the cruise ship and drop us off, because it can be pretty expensive. To park for 8 days. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is where MAGA comes to talk. No one loves Trump more than me. There may be some people who love him equally, but not more. All right, and I got a parking spot right in the front, which is really nice. CR, $5 super chat. Thank you, CR. Have a great holiday with your family. I most certainly will. Every year I take a cruise with listeners. So we're going to the ABC Islands Saturday, an 8-day cruise with listeners. Many who watch me here on my YouTube channel, some listen to me on the radio, and a lot listen to me on my podcast too, and they go on the cruise. Yeah, it took me 40 minutes to get here, but I took a wrong turn and missed the exit off the highway. Usually it takes about 20 minutes to get from my house to here. Well, listen, guys, I got to run and get into baggage claim. But thanks for joining me on the ride. Look for my podcast later. Got a new podcast that's going to drop this evening. It's a real good one. I just recorded it right before I came to the airport. All right. My name is Brian.